because we're talking about taking tax money, the community's money, and creating a program like this. And I got feedback from that, and not from the community, by the way. I got feedback, and they were concerned about that. That was a slippery slope for us to take, because it's public funds. The other issue is, and maybe this doesn't make sense, I don't know, but I don't know if it's not in the union contract, so I don't know if they can even accept this type of thing, as bizarrely as that may sound. So I'm not sure they could do that. I think we had such a positive feedback, and I know I've been approached many times, and they were just grateful that they were appreciated, that they had a picnic, that they can all get together and shoot the breeze and look at each other and say, we did a good job, and we were recognized for it. And that's really all that most employees ask for. And so I'm in the thinking of what the TA is suggesting, and I don't think we should be suggesting it to the TA and what to do, because he has to run the departments. You're thinking about setting a committee, and they have to now take the time away from work to do this committee to find out who's going to get this award. And if they don't get their job done, then it's, well, I was on that committee trying to suggest that somebody gets an award. Okay, so it's very disruptive as well. So I think if we keep it simple and we have an appreciation day, and for us to be able to go there and show our appreciation, I think that goes a lot farther than people scrambling around trying to figure out who's going to win an award. So that's my thoughts.
I tend to agree with the town administrator's recommendation in relation to the timing and the venue of it. As far as how it's carried out and a monetary, I'm not in favor of a monetary stipend associated with above and beyond the call of duty, that sort of thing, and performing functions. I think people that do that take a great deal of pride in their work anyway, and there should be some sort of recognition for that. And I think this is a pretty good venue for it. But I also think if you want to take the vestibule down there, just as you come in, this building isn't set up or designed very well, but where we consider the main entrance down there, there's a vestibule area. We have the desk with people sit and direct people. I mean, we could do something on that wall there where you have an annual Pride in Performance award designee, and blend, someone's picture being associated with it, and again, give someone a plaque or a citation in recognition of the award, and maybe a little blurb as to what they did, and do that on an annual basis. Again, at my workplace, again, in our annual meeting when we finally all get together once a year, we have a Pride in Performance announcement, and sometimes it's an individual, sometimes it's a team of people, depending upon if there's a special project that was undertaken or some specific event that took place which we had to react to, and people rose to the occasion, and then a group of people got recognized. And we have one wall in our office where it announces which year who got what, who got the Pride in Performance Award, or which group of people got it. And at the annual event, it's always a big secret who's going to get it. They don't even know who was nominated. And again, the committee is made up of a core group of people, and then whoever got it the previous year is on the committee. And it doesn't take much time as far as sorting through the nominations. So I think it's important to recognize them. I think the undertaking this year, at Jeff's suggestion, we all jumped on board on as far as that picnic that we had for the Appreciation Day, Employee Appreciation Day, really was well received and long overdue. And if we can sustain that in years to come, I think that goes a long way in boosting morale and giving them proper recognition by the board and the administration for what they do, day in and day out, 12 months a year. So I think that's an appropriate venue. I think we can develop some sort of a mechanism to have a little ad hoc committee just to handle it. And if we want to set up an area where the public can view it as they come into the town hall, or even have it on our webpage, who got it this year for the calendar year, let's do it. Because it's a simple enough task to put it up on the website, and it's a simple enough task to develop something down in the vestibule down there where people come in the main entrance, and they can note the appreciation of what employee or group of employees will recognize for the year. So I think it's a great idea. I think it's something we should do. I think the Employee Appreciation Day is something that should be maintained, and I think that's appropriate. I don't think we have the resources, and I don't think you can give an adequate amount dollar-wise. You give them $100, you give them a couple $100, what is it going to be? But I think we have to be careful when we do that. So
Maybe Greg should read, because the public at home doesn't know what he proposed. I suggested, off what he's suggesting to do.
Sure. Would you like me to?
Yeah, yeah.
I gave the following recommendation to the board. I said, please note the following. The annual employee cookout sponsored by the Board of Selectmen in late August received rave reviews by employees. It's my understanding many of those who passed last year will not pass this coming year because they heard so much good about it. And that should be considered Employee Appreciation Day going forward. I'm not sure whether an additional program is necessary, as this already recognizes all employees for a job well done. However, if the board wishes to recognize individual employees for their contributions, I suggest that it be done informally as part of the annual employee cookout. This would be my first choice.
I would add, Greg, that sometimes just handing out a plaque to a employee or a group of employees, or maybe have several categories that we think of in the area of outstanding performance in some kind of category, whether it's a cost saving or treating our citizens very well, or solving some problem, and maybe have not one handout but several different ones, and go forward and put in the budget money to cover for the cost of the running the event.
Running the cookout
Yeah.
and the plaques and
Yeah,
things like that.
right.
Right.
And I think that maybe is, based on what I've heard from everybody, is a,
And I think somebody should be
It's
putting the
kind of middle
administrator's
ground.
budget for the annual event. And again, local vendors were very generous. Local vendors were very generous in helping out, and we can continue to solicit that, and we appreciate that. But by the same token, we shouldn't necessarily have to rely on that totally.
exactly.
And I think there should be some money in the budget for that event.
I think that's better than what we have right now.
Mr. Chair.
Great idea.
Mr. Yule.
Yeah, I don't think we should be involved with it at all. I think that
You mean the
creates
board?
the board, yes. It creates a political environment that is very much a slippery slope. I think that if the TA wants to create a program, he's been here how many years? All right, he knows his employees. He should know what to do. Whatever he thinks is right to do, it really should be on his shoulders. I don't think that we should impose an idea like this on him. All right, now, this is, we're an interesting board, okay, and we...
That was complimentary, right?
Yes,
Okay.
both ways,
Depends on what night.
okay? All right, I don't think it's appropriate for us to even indicate that we think someone's doing a good job, because that puts pressure on the TA. And it has happened in the past, and if we're involved with it, if we come up with this program, all right, then our hands are on it, then it just puts the TA I don't care what town it is, that puts a TA in a compromising situation. If someone comes up to him and says, you know, so-and-so's been doing this, they've been doing a good job. Even if it's sincere, even if it's accurate, but it would never be appropriate, because, you know, this is what that ethics stuff is that we have to deal with in other areas. Okay, so when you have a program like this, if he wants to do it, let him do it. If he doesn't want to do it, that's his choice, but he has to manage the employees of this town. And I think that, you know, we reached out, we did the employee appreciation thing. There's no awards, there's no conflict. All you have to do is come and eat, and we'll serve. And it's that simple. And there's no, hey, why did they get this, or why did they get that? Yeah, when you put a program like this together, we have to look at that in a use of foresight to see what are the downsides of it as we keep thinking about how wonderful of an idea it's going to be. There are a lot of downsides to a program like this. So, again, I feel strongly that it should be left in the hands of the TA and let him do what he wants. If he wants to come to us and say, listen, I'd like to put a few dollars on the side for this program, what do you think? Then that's fine, but I don't think it should be coming from us. So.
Well, I think we can have a cake and eat it. I think this Employee Appreciation Day, sponsored by the Board of Selectmen, where we serve the town employees, and it was a great time. And I think the town administrator can use that forum to present awards to those employees. It's a gathering of everybody. It's a good time. And there's nothing wrong with recognizing a few people for doing outstanding work.
And again, there might be one year, it might be
And
one
we
person,
don't
another
have
year
to-
it might be
We
three.
don't have to be part of any decision on,
Right.
Well, I don't, you know, I just also don't want to compromise our situation where we overstep our bounds, okay? And it has happened in the past with other boards, in other issues. It happens now, and it'll happen in the future. So you know, it's just the nature of the beast, I guess, is what I'm saying here. We need to, you know, if he wants to do that, that's fine. That's his business, okay? And I'm not going to stand in that way. But, you know, I think we need to be careful on our involvement in this process.
I think if any member of the board or collectively the board, you know, during the course of 12 months, you know, some event occurred and some employee stepped up to the plate and did whatever they did, and it's going to surface anyway. And I think it isn't necessarily going to be coming from the board specifically. I think the administrator and department heads, and it may even be a department head, maybe the town administrator himself, but the board isn't going to be selecting, and I don't disagree with you. You know, I think the nominations should come from the employees themselves, you know, or the town administrator recognizing certain employees that, you know, that report to him. One of the guidelines that we have, that we operate under where I work, is that I can't nominate anybody above my level, only at my level or below. And again, what that does is that it doesn't endear me with my boss, you know, finding out what do you take, you know, sugar in your coffee, or do you take it black, and let me get you one, you know, and try and enhance your position with the person who's evaluating your performance. So, you know, but it depends on what your needs are, depends on how your organization is structured, and to avoid those types of conflicts and situations. You know, I don't think anybody here suggests, Jeff, that, you know, we're going to be handpicking who's going to get it and all the rest. I think the annual Appreciation Day is something that was started this past year that I think should be continued going forward, and I think that should be board-sponsored. It should be board-sponsored, and it would provide a wonderful venue, if it's deemed appropriate by the administration, to recognize some employee or a group of employees who've done something recognized, that should be recognized at the appropriate time. May not happen on an annual basis, may or may not. If he wants to set it up as an annual thing, that's fine. But I think it's the appropriate venue. I don't think we need to do it at a town meeting. I don't think we need to do it here necessarily in front of the board. At a public venue, I think it's, let the employees know that we appreciate them, first of all, as a board, and then provide that as a venue amongst themselves from whom they've nominated to be recognized. Again, whether it's just a citation or a small plaque, so be it. And
And by the way, I think that's the perfect venue, because
Right.
if you have it, you bring an employee in here to present something,